No worries, thanks. So yeah, hi everyone. I'm Steve, and I work for Far East Hospitality in Singapore. I'm based here in the UK. I've got three Oasia hotels to show you today. The presentation itself, I don't have facts that correlate with the numbers in the presentation. What I've done is just dotted them around in some of the slides so for you to keep an eye out. So I do apologize. I'm not going to make it completely obvious where the numbers are. But I will point them out where I see them. So the first one is the Oasia Hotel in Novena. It's in the Novena district of Singapore. It's not necessarily an area that is synonymous with tourism. There are shopping malls dotted around, but it is mostly sort of a more localized area, but it is still well connected and in a convenient spot. The great thing about the hotel is that it's actually situated above the food court that is attached to Novena MRT station. So if you know Singapore, they've got a saying over there, the Singaporeans, whether it be by rain or by sweat, you're bound to get wet. But if it's a baking hot day or it's pouring it down, you don't have to venture outside to get to the MRT station. You can get in the lift and go down to the basement and then cut through a little food court and you're directly on top of the MRT. And it's only 2 stops away from the Orchard Road shopping belt and 1 MRT station away from Dobby Gaunt, which is this huge intersection area that can take you elsewhere around the whole country then basically. So there's a number 62 there. What you can see here, what I've done is just dotted them around the slides for you to try, sort of pick up on. But the Oasia Hotel brand itself of Far East Hospitality, this is their sort of section of sort of wellness hotels. It's not necessarily a full-on wellness experience, but they sort of dip their toe into aspects of that. So they have a motto at every Oasia hotel, which is refresh, refuel, and recharge. Everything is based around sort of, you can dip your toe into things like yoga and exercise, healthy eating, which is something that they offer at the restaurants, but it's not a full-on experience. It's there if you really require it. And the convenience of the location means that it's great for tourism. It's also great for business travel as well. So if you are traveling for business, you've still got the chance to unwind. The gym is 24 hours and it also has a sauna and a steam room. It's basically equipped with what most Far East Hospitality hotels have, which is just, basic cardio equipment, a few cable machines and some decent free weights as well. We have different pool decks as well. So this is our sort of main pool deck, which is on the 8th floor. This is open to all guests. With Far East Hospitality hotels, a lot of them have the room categories with certain benefits. This is available to everybody, and as you go up in category you get access to other floors as well. So this is actually the club room floor. This is also home to our private adults only sort of pool area, as well as another steam room and sauna. Another number there at the bottom for you as well, and it just offers a nice more exclusive area and a really good view of the surrounding area as well. So this is the Marmalade Pantry, one of the Oasia brand restaurants that they have both in the Novena hotel and the downtown hotel. Again, you can get Western and Malaysian Singaporean style foods, and this ranges all the way from comfort foods to sort of wellness and vegan options and stuff like that. So you've got quite the wide choice when it comes to food here. This is the club room. So again, you'll get benefits where you're in the suites and in the club room categories, and again just a more exclusive space higher up and a little bit more private and a really nice view of the surrounding areas. And this is where you can get buffet breakfast in the mornings as well if you're in those categories. In keeping with the whole refresh, refuel, recharge and the wellness thing, everything's sort of earth toned, lots of wood and stone in the interior designs. These are your entry level suites that offer 27 square meters of space. And then this is the Premier Suites, which offer the same space, but are on a higher floor as well. So even though they're not quite club room, they're still decent in height and offer a really good view of the surrounding area. And then we get to the club rooms as well. So these are the ones that do offer entry into the club suites, as well as our larger categories that also contain the separate living space to the bedroom. I'll just give you a second so you can note down the number on the TV screen. And I'll just quickly move on now. That is number 25. So the second hotel I've got to show you is the Oasia Downtown. This is probably one of my favorite hotels to talk about in Singapore, with its really nice iron red facade with vines growing all the way up to the 27th floor. It's quite an iconic building. If you've ever seen a picture of the city skyline and you see a red tower, this is what stands out amongst the crowds. Much more synonymous with tourism in the area, in the downtown district. You're near Telok Ayer Park as well, which is where the Buddha Tooth Relic Museum is. So a lot more of a cultural hotspot, 1 minute away from Tanjong Pagar MRT station, which is one stop away from an interchange station as well. So really well connected. And you're in a sort of Chinatown district area as well. You're not quite far from the Amoy Hotel, as well as the Heritage Museum and the newly built Clan Hotel by Far East Hospitality as well. So there are actually two lobbies in this hotel. The first one is on the 12th floor for all guests to go and check in. But if you are in the club rooms, you head up towards the 22nd floor. And this is just a little bit more of a private check-in area. And this is also where you can go and experience the club lounge as well. Sorry, the 24th floor. Again, with all Far East Hospitality hotels, you've got the 24-hour gym. There isn't a sauna and a steam room in this one, unfortunately, but it is 24-hour cable and free weights as well as cardio machines. But the benefit of this hotel is that we actually do have a 12th floor lawn. So the building actually surrounds a few decks as well. So you've got the 12th floor, which has our lawn, and we've got a few other pool decks as well that open up into these sort of large atriums as you go up. This is also where we do our yoga on Sundays. Both Navina and the Oasia offer yoga sessions, but downtown has a really good, nice open space to do that. If you're in club rooms and above, you also get your very own yoga mat. And if you're in the sort of premier rooms, you can ask reception for a spare yoga mat as well to join in. And those are every Sunday. So above that is another atrium space, which is actually our club pool deck. This is really private and a nice big open space with a large swimming pool in the middle. You do get sunshine from the early mornings up until about 3 p.m. The sun beams in anyway, so you can sunbathe as well as enjoy the pool. And then on the 27th floor, we've got the public pool as well. So even though it's higher up, this is where all guests are welcome. There's two pools that surround what is our top floor restaurant. And that is also surrounded with this huge sort of canopy where you can see the vines growing up, and it makes it feel almost like a secret garden at the top of the tower. Again, you've got the Marmalade Pantry, which is the Oasia brand restaurant. But we also have Chin Chin Bar, which has, I think, over 200 different brands of gin that you can try. And then we've got the restaurant on the 27th floor. So this is Ozo Ristorante, which is an Italian restaurant that has been well established in Singapore since the 1970s, I believe. And then it was relocated to the top floor of the Oasia Downtown. We also have the club lounge as well. So again, if you're in the club rooms and above, you've got access to a private breakfast and all day drinks during the day as well on the 24th floor. Again, with it being that sort of Oasia brand, everything's wood and earth toned, as well as these little flashy orange lights and glass screens that they've got going on. If you're in the entry room, your window is not quite blocked, but it is covered with the facade with the vines going up, and then everything else above that has a dedicated window so that you can see clearly out to the surrounding area. And then these are our club room levels. So the space goes from 28 square meters all the way up to about 48 square meters. And then these are our higher room categories. So these do offer a separate bedroom to living space as well. And that is the number 46 on the screen. And then lastly, we've got the Oasia Suites Kuala Lumpur. This hotel is a little bit different in the fact that it is almost like a serviced apartment building. All the rooms, bar in the entry level, come with a kitchenette, but is great for tourists as it is right next to the KL Tower. The benefit of that is that KL Tower is one of the stops in the hop-on, hop-off bus service. So if you get a day or two's pass, if you've got a stopover going through Kuala Lumpur instead of Singapore, you can get around the whole city really easily for 2 days, as well as enjoy the bus and the facts that they'll discuss as you go past iconic buildings around the city as well. So I'll give you a quick look at the Oasia. I'll just make sure that I didn't put a number on this screen as well. The restaurant on the ground floor is NZ restaurant. So it's a New Zealand style menu. We do lamb steaks, and we also import wines from New Zealand as well as beers there as well. Unfortunately, there's no marmalade pantry in this one, but this one is a really good restaurant apparently. We do also have another lounge. This isn't a private lounge, but it is open to all guests. That's on the same deck as the pool, which is on the 12th floor. And again, it's just a nice spot if you want to get into the aircon, if it's a bit too hot outside, and enjoy a tea or a coffee and a few snacks that they have as well. And again, we've also got the 24-hour gym that's on the same level as the pool. The pool itself looks out onto KL Tower, so you can see a really nice view of the tower, and you can see the surrounding areas as it's almost on a little bit of a hill mound. And if you go over to the edges, you can have a look around of the scenery of the city as well. So our entry-level rooms are the only ones that don't have a little kitchenette there. They're more suitable for tourists that are stopping over for a day or two. But every other category does have the kitchenette, as well as sort of like spaces where it offers a little bit more free space, with our larger rooms also offering separate bedrooms to living areas as well. The benefit of this hotel also is that we offer single bedroom studio style rooms, 2 bedrooms, as well as 2 double rooms. So you've got the opportunity to accommodate families that have 1 or 2 children, but you can also accommodate guests that are, 2 sets of adults traveling with each other. So we do have rooms that have 2 king size rooms as well. And that's just a little example of the kitchenette there. Lastly, I just want to mention that we do also have the Oasia Resort Sentosa opening up. This is going to be a little bit more leaning towards that whole wellness tourism. We will have a spa, salon and stuff like that. So this one is set to open next year, and this one will be not just a dip of the toe into wellness, but be a whole lot more encompassed around that, and on Sentosa Island as well, if you've got guests that also want to see Universal Studios and stuff like that the island has to offer. So that's my presentation. Thank you for listening.